Hey, what's going on, guys? So I got another strange video for you today. For this one, I'm going to have to tap into my 18-year-old mindset because the things I'm going to be talking about in this video are no longer on my mind. It's not an issue anymore, but it was an issue for me several years ago. For those of you who don't know, I am currently 25 years old, but back when I was like 18 up until 22, I had a ton of regrets, and I still do have those regrets. It's just they're not on my mind anymore. I don't really think about it. I've gotten over it. So like I said, these things that I'm going to be discussing, they don't bother me anymore, but they did at one point in time. And I thought, what the hell, it can't hurt to share this. And maybe through sharing this, it might help somebody else. I don't know. So when I was like 18 years old, I had a ton of regrets. And these things weren't a big deal. Like in the grand scheme of things, these weren't a big deal at all. They're not. But they did bother me a lot. I would think about these regrets every day. I would sit there and dwell on the past and sort of like beat myself up over it. So what were some of these regrets? Well, like I said, it was nothing too serious, but all these regrets hit me right when I graduated high school. I mean, honestly, like the second I graduated, I was overcome with all these regrets all of a sudden. As I was walking across the stage at my graduation ceremony, I thought to myself, wow, you fucked up. And the reason I say that is because when I was in school, I basically went on autopilot, at least for middle and high school, grades 6 through 12. I kind of went on autopilot when I went to school. I didn't do anything extra. I just went there, sat through the classes, and got out. I didn't make the most of my time there. And hey, maybe some of you who are watching this didn't go to school, so you probably won't be able to relate to this. But anyways, that was my attitude through my years in school. It was like when I got to school, I sort of checked out, went on autopilot, did the bare minimum of what I had to do to get through the day. And when I got out of school at the end of the day, I hit resume. I wasn't a very social person in school at all. I wasn't involved in many activities. I did wrestle for 3 of my 4 years in high school, but I really just did that just to do it, just to feel like I was, I don't know, I kind of had this weird thing where I felt like I needed to play a sport or something back in the day. Not like anyone pressured me into it. It was just something, that's just how I felt, and I made myself do it. I didn't hate it. I wish I would have made the most of that. I wish I would have taken wrestling more serious then. I didn't though. But other than that, I didn't really do much in school besides the necessities. And back then, starting from 7th grade all the way through high school, that's back when like Halo was in its prime, and I was playing the game almost every day for ridiculous amounts of hours. And I enjoy those times spent playing Halo. When I look back, that's what a lot of my memories consist of. But honestly, maybe I shouldn't have played as much as I did. Like I could have set some time aside to experiment with other things. But yeah, when I graduated high school, the second I got out, I was like, shit, man, what did I just do? Did I just waste my high school years? I mean, that's a time I'm never getting back. Like that was it. Plenty of people look back and reminisce on their time in school, and like I didn't do anything. I don't have any memories here. And like I said earlier in the video, I know some people just didn't go to school. Some people were homeschooled. But the thing is, I did go to school. Like, I did go, and I didn't make the most of it. And from there, when I graduated, when I was 18, up until like, I don't know, age 22 or something like that, these regrets that I had really, they really affected me. They didn't affect me in the sense that it, changed the way I acted or I wasn't able to function, but it did fuck me up. It was on my mind so much, and I like, it felt like it was the end of the world. But hey, here I am now, 25, and I mean, this shit I'm talking about doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I've forgotten, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it didn't. Slow down. Sometimes things that really bother us, I don't know if these things really ever get better. I think time just passes, and we just forget. Like, when you lose somebody close to you, I mean, in that moment, especially right when it happens, it's just, I mean, it's a huge shock. It's the end of the world. You don't know how you're going to go on, and it's just absolutely a miserable thing. But, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, yeah, it's still sad, but it's not killing you like it was when it first happened. It's not destroying you and breaking you down. And I mean, sure, maybe you will have breakdowns here and there, but you know what I mean. Time has passed. That horrific event, it's not new. It's not fresh anymore. So just because time has passed, it's not killing you as much as it once was. And I feel like that could be the case. I feel like that is the case with a lot of things. Whatever it is that is bothering you, it might not actually ever get better. Maybe you don't actually get over it. It's just that time passed, and you've kind of forgotten. It's not as fresh anymore. But hey, what do I know? Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. Maybe things do actually get better. And speaking of forgetting about things, as time passes, something I told myself right when I was overcome with all these regrets right after I graduated, I actually told myself this, like, I'm not making this up. I was telling myself, like, hey, time is going to go by and you are going to forget about how you feel in this moment right now. I was telling myself that at 18 when I had all these regrets, and I felt terrible about it. And every day onward, I would think of all these regrets, and I would kind of make myself feel shitty, because I didn't want to forget that feeling, because I knew that was going to go away as I got older, which it did. Here we are. Then I have forgotten. There's certain feelings you can't get back. And this goes into a whole separate topic, but just to cover it briefly real quick, like, sometimes we'll have memories of things, and we think we know what we felt in those moments when we're thinking back on whatever event it is, but you're not actually feeling the same way you felt in that moment. And that might sound kind of obvious to you, and I mean, I can't really explain it, what I'm trying to say. But like, for example, maybe there was something that made you really happy when you were a kid. I don't know, maybe it was Christmas, right? And you might be able to think back and remember, yeah, I was really happy that Christmas, but you can't actually feel the feeling that you had in that moment back then. You know what I mean? So like now for me, when I look back and I'm thinking of these things that used to bother me, these regrets, I'm not feeling that same feeling I had anymore. Like I can't feel it. It doesn't bother me anymore. And like I said, I don't actually think I got over these things. I think time just passed and I've kind of forgotten, and it's not recent anymore. So I guess I just kind of don't care. And real quick, another example that goes along with what I was trying to say there is, for example, this is a Halo channel, so let's refer to Halo for a second. Many of us remember growing up playing Halo as a kid, right? I can look back on those times playing Halo when I was a kid, and I remember being extremely happy. But I can't actually feel that feeling now. I can think back on it and I know I was happy, but I can't feel that same happiness right now. Like, sitting here right now, I cannot feel that same feeling I had at that particular moment in time. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But yeah, like I said, these things don't bother me anymore, but my God, they fucking did. I just, a couple days ago, I just put out a video talking about getting older and how I think about that every single day throughout the day. Yeah, before it was, I also used to think about these regrets every day, multiple times a day. And it would just, it had me fucked up. And you gotta understand, like, I know none of these things are a big deal. So what if I didn't make the most of my time in high school? So what if I didn't socialize and involve myself in more activities? Which that was all part of the regrets. I wish I would have socialized more and done more things. But although none of these things are a big deal, back then it was to me, because I had been going to school for 13 years in a row. And then when I had first gotten out of school, I had the realization that was it. Your school years are over, unless I went to college, but you know what I mean. That was it. Like that was high school. Like, you're done. That's set in stone. You can't change that now. And it's not like I had a bad experience. It was just an uneventful experience. And man, now that I'm actually thinking about this, it's all starting to come back to me. Like I said, I had to tap into my 18-year-old mindset, because I haven't thought about this in years. But like I said, it was something that truly bothered me. But yeah, I just remember, going through life, the days, the weeks, the months after high school, and all I could think to myself is, man, you really messed up. I thought to myself that I completely wasted what is for many a memorable time of their life. And it bothered me even more that it was the second I got out of high school that I wanted to do a lot of the things that you do in high school. The second I graduated, I was like, okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready to do all the high school stuff. Too late. So, yeah, those were the regrets. That was something I thought about for like 3 or 4 years. It really, really bothered me, and I thought it was the end of the world. But here I am now at 25, and I don't really care about any of that anymore. And maybe that's just because time has passed and I've forgotten. Maybe if I could feel the same way I felt in that moment when I first had these regrets, then maybe it would still fuck me up now. But that's not the case. And right now, I just wanted to take a moment to offer some, I guess, advice to anybody who's a little younger and is still in school. My advice would be just to make the most of it, participate in certain activities, clubs or sports, socialize. I don't know, it's weird giving advice like this. But yeah, that's kind of what I would say. Step out of your comfort zone, I guess. Like, even if you're someone who's shy and like timid, and you don't socialize with anybody. And I can kind of relate to that, because I was shy. I was a really shy kid, and I hate that. Kind of, it's just, I'm not anymore at all, but it's just fucking like I was at one point in time. Like, I was extremely shy. And it's because I would always overthink shit. Like, my mind was like really weird. Like, when it came to socializing, like, okay, this is how my mind used to work. Like if I were to say, I don't know, hello to somebody, then I would play out the whole interaction in my head before I did it. Before I said hi to this person, I would think to myself, okay, should I say hi? Should I say hello? Should I do I just say hey? How will they respond? And if they respond by saying this, how do I respond? That's literally how my mind worked. So fucking stupid. Completely overthinking shit. But that's not a fucking problem anymore. I'm not a shy person anymore. I was at one point in time, and I overthought everything. But yeah, even if that's you, even if you are, you can relate to that, you are the shy kid, even then, I would still do as much as you can while you're there, make the most of it, because that's another thing. I've realized if there's something that you don't want to do, some type of activity you don't want to participate, or some type of event you don't want to go to, and you're in a situation where you have to make a decision, do I want to do that or do I not? I've realized that if you participate in whatever the activity or event is, there's a much smaller chance that you're going to regret that, especially a year from then, than if you were to not participate in that activity, whatever it may be. What I'm saying is, maybe you're someone who's not into sports at all, okay? If you make the decision to force yourself to play a particular sport, let's say it's baseball, even if you hate it and it's a terrible experience, a year, 2 years down the road, maybe only a couple months down the road, you're probably not going to regret it. And if you do regret it, it's not one of those regrets that is really tearing you apart, you wish you could go back and change it. No, for the most part, I'd say that's probably not the case. But if you say, hey, I don't like sports, and you just never play any sports, then there's a much higher chance that later on in life, you will regret having not tried out for any sports. I hope that makes sense. I feel like there's less of a chance you're going to regret doing that thing you don't want to do than if you were to not do it at all. If you don't do it at all, then I say there's a higher chance that you will regret not having done it. So that's why I say just do everything, involve yourself in as many different things as you can, even if you know you're probably not going to enjoy it. And I hope nobody twists that as if I'm saying waste your time doing things you're not going to enjoy. No, that's not what I'm saying, not at all. I'm just saying step outside of your comfort zone, try new things, and don't reject something just because you feel like you won't enjoy it. I mean, you might be right. You might not enjoy whatever the thing may be, but it might be worth it to do it just for the experience. And I've taken my own advice on that. There's been things that I've done that I know I'm not going to enjoy, and I'll do it anyway just for the experience. That mindset has actually driven me to go on certain trips that I normally wouldn't. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one, guys. That was, it was a trip down memory lane for me. I have a bunch of different thoughts and emotions flowing through me right now. But anyways, once again, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I've said this in multiple videos. I don't reply to all the comments, but I do read every single one. And so I don't want you, if you left a comment, I definitely read it. But that's it for this one. I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.